Hello everyone, this is Will from the Apple One-to-One Training Channel, and today is really more an educational, futuristic video. They are going to stop the support of Intel-based apps. So I wanted to go over some of the things you can look at in your own computer and how to understand what this is and to future-proof yourself going forward. If you have any questions, please leave it down in the comments, and definitely subscribe if you want to learn about all the educational content that we provide here on the Apple One-to-One Training Channel. And we are former geniuses and creatives that go over all the content about Apple to educate you to have a great experience on your Apple devices. So I wanted to show you a screenshot here on the screen of an example of what you are seeing. Now, you have probably seen this already if you've been an Apple user before the M series that came out, the new Apple Silicon chips, which is that you may have apps that are based on Intel, and the version of your app will, in the future release of macOS, will not be supported, and that you need to download an Apple Silicon version of this software. So if you've been a longtime Apple user, this is something you're going to see, and we're going to talk about what this is, how to address it, and is it possible to address it? So let's go through those steps. So when you click on the Go Here, this is the article that Apple brings you to. Rosetta was a way to allow Intel-based apps to run on Apple Silicon. We've been down this road before with Rosetta when we went from PowerPC to Mac, and I actually have been around during that era. So there was so many different things that were changing within Apple's time frame, and we go through this probably every 7 years. Hopefully we won't have to do it again. So we are 2 years away from possibly this being really affecting you, but Rosetta is going to be available through macOS 27. Starting with macOS 28, Rosetta will no longer be functional except for certain older games that rely on Intel-based frameworks. And you will have to know that based on what games you play for. So what you have to do is you have to find the Apple Silicon version of your app. Now, I will tell you this right now, you will not find that all the time. There are app developers that are even no longer in business, and you have to try to figure that out based on that. So let's talk about how you know if you have an Intel app or you don't. Number one is you will see the notifications pop up on the right side of your screen, like you saw with the screenshot I showed you, and then you can go into Finder and find out. So I'm inside my applications here, and I'm going to go to an app called Any Video Converter Lite, and then I'm going to open it with Command I, and this tells me right here under Kind application with an Intel on it. That's how you know. This is an example of universal, which means that it's used for Apple Silicon. So that just shows you the difference between the two. So you want to go through your apps and determine if there is a version of Apple Silicon for this. So I'm just going to Google that, and then I'm just going to paste it and then say Apple Silicon as a guest here. And then it's actually available on the App Store. So if I go up here, it's only saying open, which tells me that they have not updated this app, and it's probably not going to work anymore. You can see that there's not much information about this at all, and any software doesn't seem like it's going to basically fix this problem. Even going here, and you could tell that this company is basically no longer in business if you keep looking around here. So you could tell you that there's just nothing really here to go on, and likely this app will never work again. So in the essence, what I would end up doing is, since I don't use the app, and the last time I even modified it, I'm just going to delete it, and then it's going to remove it from my computer. And the app now just went to the trash, and that's the end of this app. However, there are apps that you still use. So for example, I do use something called OpenVPN. And OpenVPN actually has a download DMG file. And I downloaded it, and I wanted to show you what you get. So in this version, the DMG file, it's contained two packages. One that's for x86 and one for ARM6. ARM6 is indicating the Apple Silicon because it's based on an ARM tech architecture. If you see something with x86, that means it's made for an Intel based. So this is the version that I would want to install going forward. So anytime you download or go to a website and you look up something, you may want to type in the word Apple Silicon, or you may want to, when you're downloading the DMG, to choose the correct one, make sure it's ARM based or Apple Silicon based. Currently, if you're not running Rosetta and you are going to end up doing that, when you run an app for the first time, it would indicate to you that you're going to install Rosetta and then allow it to work. So that is what will happen if this is the first time you're seeing this or hearing about it. So the idea of this video was to talk to you about Apple Silicon regarding the Rosetta feature, and that all the pop-ups that you're going to be getting is going to change. So for example, one of the ones I got was for Epson Event Manager. So right here, I'm on the website, and I have to look around for the correct one. Now you can see that they really haven't updated their software. Here we go, macOS Tahoe, and then I got to put my country and region in there, United States, and then here's the Epson Manager. Now if I look under the description, compatibility with new models. So if I go to proceed to download, I agree to their license. Here's the package. I'm going to go through the installer and see if there's anything regarding Apple Silicon in this. So I went through the installation. So far, nothing has popped up regarding Apple Silicon in here. But when this is done installing, I am going to go to the application folder and see what kind of app this is. It's shocking that at this point, no one's addressed it yet, if they haven't. Okay, so everything was done complete. I'm going to move the installer to the trash. I don't need to keep it. Okay, so I'm now here at the app, the Event Manager app. You can see I just installed this today. It's still an Intel app. They have not updated this yet. This is going to be a future problem if they don't go ahead and address this. In fact, I have apps in here that are from the 32-bit era. They don't even work on this machine at all. So I'm screwed with that. So you can see that there is just a lot of things some companies have not addressed yet. And this is just a future-proof you to let you know, hey, this is going to happen. So please make sure that you are going through this article, looking around your OS to find out what apps are not available. If you see a pop-up that tells you that, look up and see if there is one. But if there's not, if macOS 28 comes out, then you will be screwed, basically, and you will not be able to use the app. This comes to the point where I actually end up having an old Mac that still supported 32-bit apps just to use very, very old software, just in case I need it. So this might be the same case where I might have to keep an old Mac around just to have that Mac for this future proofing issue that I may run into. But just wanted to go over this a little bit for you. Hope you guys got some education out of this, and definitely if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thank you very much, and I love every single one of you.